Hi-ho, everybody. It's your old pal, Fido Kennington. Once again, coming at you from the dungeon, flying solo again this week. Powie is in the penalty box, so I'm going to bring you week 33 of Hey Man, Nice Kiss Shirt, all by myself. Speaking of nice kiss shirts, check this little 7778 iron-on number out. I'm sure this originally wasn't a t-shirt. I'm sure it was probably an iron-on. If any of you have this, let me know your history with it in the comments. I got this in a trade a while back, and so I don't have a backstory for it. But what I do have is another week from this beautiful tome, courtesy of Rick Howard, aka It's All For You Demon. That's right. Rock and roll all night and journal every day is a year-long guide celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. Head on over to Rick's YouTube every Friday. It's All For You Demon, serving it up. It's good times. We're going to get into some good times. Let's jump right into it. August 6th. Happy birthday, Vinnie Vincent. What is your favorite Vinnie Vincent co-write song with Kiss? Why? For me, it's changed. I jotted down a couple of different answers. My first favorite was Young and Wasted. I think I really liked the aggression of that track. And I especially enjoyed Eric singing it live. And but I realized over time that as I started writing songs and just more appreciating songcraft and also over time really digging the progression and power of Paul's voice, A Million to One is, I guess I would say those two songs kind of battle it out. Honorable mention to Unholy for really the unlikely more than unholy is what that was. When that came out and I saw the credits, the co-write, I was like, wow. I mean, that's, even then, we most Kiss fans, I would say, figured that was a bridge burned. So to see him working with Kiss again was a welcome shocker. I'll put it that way. Moving on to August 7th. Who is your Kiss best friend? How long have you been Kiss friends? What has been your most fun Kiss day? Describe that day. Well, I've had a lot. I mean, obviously, Powie, he's right there. We've had a lot of good times. A lot of those good times we've discussed on the show. But I would like to go back a little further, like way back to my first Kiss friend, Nate Baylog. Pretty sure it was third grade where Nate and I discovered that we were both Kiss freaks, and I mentioned an episode or two ago about the recess legends that we were, carving out space on our concrete slab out on the playground to play Kiss every recess. I had a tape deck. He had a tape deck as well. Me and Nate and his brother Ben and our buddy Sam usually would pantomime Kiss tunes. Those are great memories. I've got great memories with my bandmates in Great Expectations / Sweet Pain, Brian Coggins, bassist in Sweet Pain. I'll put a picture here. We've all had some pretty amazing. We were the guys that would go to the conventions, the expos together. A standout memory with Coggins was the jam session at the Troy Marriott in, I think, 94, maybe 93, 94. where we almost got kicked out of the hotel for raising a ruckus. I've been blessed to have a couple of KISS friends over the years, and so, I mean, much has been said about that fateful day at Tiger Stadium and the memories I shared with Johnny Scotch and, Paul's neck and meeting Sebastian. And there've been a lot. There've been a lot. And it's just so hard to pick a favorite. There's a lot of these questions center around a favorite, and it makes it difficult because it's an embarrassment of riches as far as that goes with me and KISS friends. You're all my KISS friends. To be perfectly honest, the circle will be unbroken and it will grow. It continues to grow. That's one of the best things about being a KISS fan. August 8th kind of dovetails nicely into this question. Have you ever visited the KISS monument in Cadillac, Michigan? What did you think of the monument? What are your thoughts about that historical day in history? Boy, oh boy. I was there for the 40th in 2015. That was the first time I saw Mr. Speed. And boy, I'm getting really excited for the 50th. Got my tickets again. Mr. Speed just announced a second show. It's going to be off the hook. It was a decent crowd 10 years ago, and I dare say that the crowd might double. It was pretty amazing. I was lucky enough to meet Jim Neff. I met a lot of people that day. One of the coolest things about it was being able to take my dad and stepmom to what amounted to the closest they would ever get to see KISS. That being Mr. Speed, because they got a taste of who my tribe is. When I was a kid, it was my stepdad and mom and a friend of ours that went to the Dynasty show. So my real dad, Dave, who lives in Cadillac, he'll be again going to the shindig in October with me. It's going to be very cool. The monument itself is awesome. Big old block of black granite. The dedication ceremony was cool. Just the whole thing. The whole thing was amazing. And I'm looking for an even more exciting repeat in about a month or so. The value, the legend of Cadillac, it just grows with every year, and I'm glad to be geographically close to it. One of those definite time machine destinations. That might be the one KISS concert, if I could choose from any show on the timeline of the last 50 years. That might just be the one that I'd like to be front row center for, honestly. August 9th asks, what KISS album is the perfect stress relief at the end of a long day at school or work? I try not to stress, but there's a couple of key moments on one album. There's a similar energistic jolt of electricity that I get from I Want You. Matter of fact, there's quite a few visceral moments on that album. So I'd have to say Rock and Roll Over is the one that can just, to quote Alice Cooper, blast away the clouds of any given stressful day. I mean, the fact is, just about any KISS album can do that for me. Can take me to a happy place, let me experience a stummies moment. But as far as just immediacy, ease, dependability, it's Rock and Roll Over. It just feels too good. August 10th asks, name a live recording by another band that's just as much fun as KISS Alive, KISS Alive 2, or KISS Alive 3. What makes that particular record an equal of rock and roll fun? If you couldn't think of one, why does nothing compare to the Alives? Well, as I always say, I'm a creature of nostalgia, and they're all great. I did kind of think it was interesting that Rick didn't include Alive 4 in the pile, but it's almost as though Kiss Alive 2, sonically anyway, just music alone, is it as much fun as Alive to me? I'm not sure that it is. It comes down to the matter of how long have I spent sort of fetishizing the fantasy world that Kiss takes me to when I listen to an album. And because I've literally been listening, well, end of this year, it'll be 50 years that I've been listening to Kiss Alive. So, I mean, that record is just the pinnacle. However, as far as live records go, I'll stand by this one till the day I die. Full House by Jay Giles. Again, recorded in Michigan. Again, I feel blessed to have some sort of spiritual connection. It's like it's in the ether of my state. There's something about a concert experience in Detroit. If you've ever seen a show in Detroit and you're used to seeing shows elsewhere, you might understand what I mean. But if you've never heard Full House, do yourself a favor. First, I look at the purse, Pack Fair and Square, Whammer Jammer. There's, man. Again, a moment ago, I was talking about if I could take a time machine to a particular Kiss gig, that would be a runner-up. I think it was summer of '76, July something, with the only time that Jay Giles Band and Kiss ever shared a bill. I always said that if I won the lottery, I was going to throw a giant party and everyone would be invited, and Kiss would play, and Jay Giles would play, and Rip Taylor would MC the festivities. Jay Giles Band are an awesome party outfit. They just are. I've been listening to that album. It's been seeping into my ears, honestly, thanks to my parents. It's been in there longer than Kiss has. So do yourself a favor. If you haven't checked out Full House, do it. There are honorable mentions: Humble Pie, Rockin' to Fillmore, Live Bullet, again, straight out of Detroit, Bob Seger, who was also on that Kiss Jay Giles bill. But yeah, like I said, there are honorable mentions, and one that in not only in name should be linked, but in energy level, Slade Alive has an energy that's off the charts. If you can check out the expanded version of Slade Alive, that's an absolute banger as well. August 11th asks, what is your favorite opening to a Kiss song? Again, it's difficult to pick a favorite, but I think it's this. August 12th asks, do you own any Kiss promotional items? What is one Kiss promotional item you would love to add to your collection? How much are you willing to spend to make this dream a reality? Well, I'm going to dispense with the how much would I be willing to spend portion, because it's all fantasy anyway. Like, these things that I'm about to list are, at least for now, if they're not unobtainium, literally, they're unobtainium my wallet. So I don't know. I'm willing to spend what I can afford when I see something come down the pike that I can't afford. And that's the fun of the hunt. You just have to keep your eyes open. And I think, in a paradoxical sense, it's more fun when your resources are limited financially, as far as like, how cool it is to find something that you've always wanted, in a miscellaneous cutout bin or whatever, that somebody wasn't paying attention, they overlooked it, or they underpriced it. Like, it makes it a little harder in a lot of sense, because you can't just plunk it down and take it away. But in a sense, it's like it enhances the experience. The ones that I really want to focus on, though, if I could find a white label promo of the first album with a poster, I mean, that would be the ultimate, because it would kill, 2-3 birds with one stone. I don't have a copy of the first record with the the hot pink promo sticker, the hype sticker. That'd be cool to have. I've always wanted one of those. But the poster that came with, I mean, I'd say that's a holy grail item for just about any Kiss fan. And there's no definitive answer on whether that white label promo was or wasn't sealed. I think it's kind of random. I understand that Warner Brothers, oftentimes they did seal those promotional copies, and just with a corner cut out, a notch. So I'd be curious if anybody has the first album promo the smoke poster that was inadvertently damaged by the corner cut. I never really thought about that until just now. But yeah, that would be one. First album white label promo. The KIhle 75 promo masks, I'm pretty positive they were only given out at one show in St. Louis. It was a KIhle promotion, the same station that promoted the Kite Fly earlier. I did see all 4 of those masks when I hung out with John 5, and I'll put a pic here for those of you who are not familiar. I'll try not to obscure Gene's mask when I do, but yeah, a set of those masks would be really cool. I seem to remember John saying that he had 3 for the longest time, and it took him forever to find. Maybe it was Peter's, maybe it was Ace's, I'm not sure. But yeah, that set of masks would be cool. And the Alive 2 mobile, which I'll post a pic, thanks to everythingkiss.com, Nicholas Buckland. If I'm ever having trouble finding something like this, that website is a good place to go if you just want to see what it looks like. But that mobile, I think it's unique because it's got every album up to that point. A free flow. Mobiles are cool anyway. The double platinum arrow, that shows up in Prom Night. All those promo mobiles, the standees, like the Love Gun standee, Cicchini's Love Gun standee is awe-inspiring. It's fun to look at, super fun. I need to I got a couple of I've got an Alice Cooper standee, video store standee that's pretty cool. I should put up. But yeah, those are fun. But yeah, I'd say those 3. The white label promo with the poster, the Alive 2 mobile, and the KIhle masks. Now, I know the question limits it to one, but I guess it would be the first album promo. Like I said, it ticks a few boxes. And that takes us to the end of episode 33 of Hey Man, Nice Kiss Shirt. I'm glad you could join me, and I look forward to seeing you in a week. I want to thank each and every one of you for hanging out with me. I'd like to remind you to put your two lips together and kiss the subscribe button. And remember the words of the barbarian. Play hard, play fair, nobody hurt.
Hey, man, nice kiss shirt.
It's the Remco.
Yeah.